This home is all of our kids ever known. They were all, we lived here when each one of them were born, and this is what they know. This is home. To watch it burn, you feel like you're losing pretty much everything.
Well, it was a Wednesday night, and we had just gotten back from church and decided to put up our tree. It was December 1st, and the boys were really telling me it's time to put up that tree. So we did. As far as I knew, everybody was in bed and asleep, and I had just put a box in the garage and headed up to the attic to put boxes away when we heard a pretty loud fire alarm go off. And I just remember the tone of Steve's voice. I'd never heard it before. Fire, get out now. He screamed it. And I immediately started trembling, and I basically jumped out of the attic, and immediately your body goes into panic mode. None of your muscles work right, and you're just trying to put on shoes becomes a huge task because you're shaking in horror so bad. And we knew this was the real thing, and it was just really hard to wrap your mind around it at the time. I noticed that my 8-year-old had not gotten out yet. So I went in there and said his name, and he didn't wake up. I shook him, and he didn't wake up. And so finally I ended up throwing over my shoulder this 8-year-old child and running down the stairs. And by that time I could smell the smoke. I could tell that we didn't have much time left, and we had to really get everybody out. And I remember a neighbor telling me, "Did you call 911?" And I just stared at my phone, and I couldn't figure out how to get to how to dial the numbers. It was so difficult for me at the time because it was just so chaotic.
Once we saw the fire trucks arrive, it was a relief because I knew that now they would go to work and they would do their best to save as much of the house as they could. After a while, they just kept coming and coming. I think I eventually counted 7 fire trucks,
Or 8.
or maybe 8 on our cul-de-sac.
It was just amazing to see them all come just as a army of heroes coming to take care of our horrible situation. And they took control immediately and had the fire out within minutes.
There was a lot of them that we don't know their names, but played a huge role. They were just very comforting and stayed with us, talked to us, and just making sure that we knew that everything was going to be okay.
When the sun rose that next morning and we went back to see the damage, it was more than some of us could handle. And we had just gotten through some pretty tearful moments, just realizing how much destruction was actually done. And to see the fire truck come down the road, just to come in and take the stress away was such a blessing. And I can't say enough about how kind and compassionate these men were to us and how good they were to my kids.